Welcome back to Entertainment Fanatics. I'm your host, Doan Nguyen. On this episode, I had the wonderful opportunity to interview Prince George, who has a 20-year history of working in the entertainment industry in various forms, such as an actor and talk show host. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. It's a pleasure to have you on my podcast, Prince George.
It's a pleasure to be here as well.
Okay, first question. Is there anything you would like to share about your background in the entertainment industry?
Well, I've been in entertainment industry with the company Warzone Comics for over 20 years, for sure. Like, if you don't, if that's something I can actually share with people. But yeah.
Since you have a 20-year career in the entertainment industry, what was your favorite piece to produce and why?
Oh, damn. Everything I think so far that we've been producing has been great. I'm like especially like we produce a television show called The Prince George Show, which we relaunching on Amazon Prime. But I remember when we first started that show, it was a show that was on cable television in its infancy originally, and producing the Number Airways, which is a podcast now, but also when we used to produce on KLAS 89.7 on regular radio, which is also great. And also, we're producing a movie called Bugsy Becoming, based off the Bugsy comic books 1 through 5 series right now. So this everything that so far has been great projects to produce or work on.
Can you tell our listeners more about the 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 movie that you're producing?
The movie's called Bugsy Becoming. It's based off the first comic book called it's based off the first comic book. Again, it's based off the Bugsy comic books 1 through 5 series, and basically it's the book one of the series, which starts off the actual series of the comic books itself, where the characters superhero, which who is a comic book superhero actually, or I should say, he's partially uh he's partially black and also partial duck superhero. So
That's cool, Prince George. Thank you. What was your most challenging piece to work on?
um most challenging piece to work on. As far as the movie's concerned, just I think realistically the most challenging piece to work on, I think everything was fun actually so far. Like, but I think realistically managing a lot of people, which we do well, but sometimes it can get a little hairy sometimes, like working on a lot of different people, a lot of different attitudes, of course. Anybody who worked in the film industry or work on any product can probably say that as well. But besides that, it's a rewarding actually.
How did you get started in music?
Music. We got started in music very very early, before the podcast, before anything else. Back at the same time we was doing comics and art and stuff. Back in junior high and high school, at the same time we was doing comics, and the same time we started realistically working into comics. We also working into music as well. And I was a part of a group called originally called Modesty, and then later on into a group called NAAO, a rock group called NAAO. Um, and then and then it went on from there. And when those groups went away, still had the love and passion for music, and yeah, it's carried on in life itself. And so, which is a great thing. We have a couple songs on the actual upcoming soundtrack for the upcoming movie, supposed to be coming, and also on the soundtrack for the Prince George show, and we have songs also on the number percent airwaves as well, along with other artists as well.
Could you tell a listener more about your group Modesty and NAAO?
Um, Modesty was like a singing quartet, consisted of myself, Prince George, under my stage name, Baby G, which stood for Biblically Awakened, Biblically Yearning Greatness, or just shortened to Baby G for short. Um, and then also consisted of several other artists on the in the group, and then again when they disbanded, became part of a group called NAAO, which I'm right here. This present moment, I'm going to tell you what it stood for, but it was a rap crew. It was a rap crew, so another again with amongst friends, and we toured around the city of Los Angeles where we're from, and different clubs, different bars, different venues, and things of that nature. And we perform different places. And yeah, so it's a great experience actually.
Could you tell us what your favorite? Could you tell the audience, our listeners, about your favorite places to perform within LA?
Well, some of the venues that we perform, some of them no longer exist, but a lot of the places that we love to perform, a lot of the stuff we performed at different clubs and different house parties. But one of the places we really love to perform is was on the King Show, where we were discovered by a producer named Possessed Da Vinci, which I think he still has who was my mentor, who still has a show of sorts. And also we also performed on the Prince George show, which is a show that I also produced. So we performed a lot of different places, but I think the funniest places were on television, actually.
Thank you for sharing. How did you become an actor?
Um, to be honest, it was organically. I was around Possessed Da Vinci. Well, growing up, we always used to carry back in the day a camcorder, always used to film and work on things and work on projects, and also during performing, we used to always get videos of ourselves performing and things of that nature. And by the time the opportunity came, we were like in at the end of junior high school and high school, we got the opportunity to perform on as NAAO, or actually on the King Possessed Da Vinci show, and fell in love with it. Fell in love with performing there, and wanted more of got fell in love with the performance part, and then found out about the acting stuff, and tried our hand at it, and then fell in love with doing it actually.
Do you think that helped you with hosting?
Hosting, again, it was this opportunity that was asked of us at one point. We were helping, like I said, was helping the King Show, not just as actors or performing and things of that nature, but we was actually helping um, behind the scenes as well as some of the shows we were in, and was approached by several different studios that we were working on shows with, and to start working on to start see if we want to start working on our own show as well. And we took the opportunity, and when we started doing things, we just technically never stopped, and we tried to learn how everything we could learn about every aspect of the entertainment industry. And one of the things we learned was producing, editing, cameras, just different things, and which came in handy with our own show and helping other people, and it became like fun actually. So yeah, I think it's kind of led to us producing. So it was great actually. It still is actually.
Can you tell our listeners more about Baby G's Sync album?
The Sync Q album was our debut album. We did released in 2016. Um, and which we're currently working on the sophomore album, Cali Hospitality. But Sync Q album was just the journey at the time that we were working on. Um, it features several different people that we've known over time, some of which are from the King Show during our time with the King Show, and different artists off of Warzone Records as well. Um, Talented people who are um, that we love to work with, and so it was a great experience working on that album and working on a lot of different projects. And it basically has an album. It's based up as a we invented a music genre called rap rock renaissance, and you'll hear a lot of it on throughout the album of different music genres that we are inspired by, and so much a genre we also created ourselves. It was great. It's a great album actually, which you can pick up in any music store or on Walmart. So yeah, it's an album I think you guys would like to check out for sure.
Could you tell more? Can you tell a listener more about the Red Rock Renaissance?
Rap rock renaissance. Most people know what rap is, and rock music. People know what rock music is, but Renaissance music is basically music from like the 1920s and before up to present. And so like it's just a music fusion of music. So like each album or soundtrack or whatever is just infused with a lot of different types of music, a lot of musical influences that we were like. For instance, like you may have a song that is influenced by gospel rap. You might have gospel country, or you may have rap country, or just different fusions of different types of music that we was influenced by growing up. So you may tend to get a lot of different types of music, but they all go hand in hand for the song is and what we're working on for sure.
That sounds very unique. Who are your music inspirations?
A little bit everybody, to be honest. I would say like because we grew up with a country being our first music that we was inspired by growing up. Um, that's part of our influences. Like our influences range from old school country, um, like Kenny Rogers, Reba McEntire. Um, we have a lot of different influences. Some of them old school, like I said, old school country. We have some new school country stuff that we're inspired by, and also we have, of course, we have the rap influences from a lot of different artists like a lot of different artists from rap as well. Um, like NWA, Tupac. We're influenced by a lot of different artists, a lot of different artists than that. But those are some of those are our influences. We have a lot of influences from rock. We have a lot of stuff, just the various artists from different genres, to be honest.
What about Kenny Rogers and Rhythm Makata inspire you?
Well, our my grandparents are from the country, so like who came to Los Angeles before we were born. So like like that's the things that that's things we were listening to, and the storytelling part of aspect of their stories and how they performed and the way music was put together was which really inspired the idea of how we take on stuff. And then our mom is from Baltimore, Maryland, and things of that nature. And so like a lot of those songs, like the old school music from like Motown and different other genres. And of course, we're from LA, so like the music from rap and different things of that nature. So everything kind of influences us and stuff. And this is basically the way their life experience and stories and things that they talk about. That's basically relatable.
Thank you for sharing. Did going to college help you break into the industry?
Well, going to college, did it help me go break into industry? I would assume it did, but for the most part, it was a way to resharpen skills that either we had already or things we wanted to brush up on, or how technology changed. So we technically use it to our advantage. Again, like I said, we grew up in the era of public access television, and public access television was when we did public access television. It was during the time of analog. So like if people know what analog is, it's like for those who don't know what analog is how TV originally one of the ways we used to consume television was in the style of analog or stuff like that or whatever before it changed over to uh, 4K and these other formats. So like back in the day, we used to have a format. We used to have a. So if you look at if you can ever get your hands on a three quarter, which is like a big tape, or reel to reel, or VHS tapes, that pretty much that style from back in the 90s and early 2000s was a style in a format called uh, analog. And us by us going to school, we learned how to bring all of our skill sets up to what we consider 4K, or the whatever the latest format of film and television is currently in. So I think realistically, going to school technically bring our skill sets from analog up to what the current format of film and television is currently.
How do you feel about the transition to digital filmmaking? Do you think that have been beneficial for filmmakers?
Okay, say it again.
How did you feel about the transition to digital filmmaking, and do you think that has been beneficial for filmmakers?
I think realistically, it was a transition. It wasn't like a hard transition. I think it's a great transition for filmmakers in general, for those who technically use um, film and specifically, I think realistically, whatever format you're in and you love using, I'd say use it. But I think it is a great format to be in. It's just I think realistically for me, because I come from a different format. I think all the formats have their advantages and and for whatever it is. But it's a great format to be in, to be honest.
Do you have any advice for people looking into the industry?
Some piece of advice that was given to me that I think it realistically helps would help anybody for the most well just those that it helps. I was told back in the day when I got into film is to just to learn how what look just if you get into film and you're a filmmaker, kind of learn um, what with everybody, like a little of everything. That way you can, even if you use it or not, you can at least learn a little so you know what everybody else job is. You can learn how to make their job easier as well as your own. I think realistically, that way you can, even if you use it or not use it, you at least learn um, how to make, like I said, make everybody else's job easier. And I think realistically, if you go to school anyway for film, you kind of will learn everybody else's job. So if you use it or not, you will um, learn how what everybody else goes through and their tasks and things of that nature. So especially as a film director, you'll tend to learn a little for everybody else's job. So like I think it is beneficial to make um, try to make the job as a filmmaker less stressful for the most part, but I think it's a good some of good advice. So I think it's something that is beneficial.
If people want to contact you, how could they reach out to you?
Um, all of our on social media, all of our social media pages, as well as and things of that nature, is under Warzone Comics. So if you go again, if you go to like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, et cetera, everything is under Warzone Comics. I do have a page as well. Majority of the stuff that I technically do is under Warzone Comics. So if you just go to social media, you just go under under Warzone Comics and you'll find us.
Thank you for joining me on my podcast today, Prince George. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It's a pleasure talking to you as well.
If you want to know more about my guest Prince George's work, you can find it on all social media platforms under World Zone Comics. Thank you for listening. See you next time.